In my opinion, like, if you're sitting at a body composition that you like, you're gonna enjoy working out more, you're gonna like the way you look, you're gonna feel better. Essentially, what's going on, boys? So we're back with another video today. Chase Gaines here, just gonna sit here and talk to you guys a little bit about 3 things I wish I knew, or 3 things I wish I knew more about when I first started lifting. Now, I feel like I could make like a million of these videos, because if you guys have been lifting for a while, you know that you just keep progressively learning more and more and more each year, each month, each week. Like, you are constantly learning, and if you're not constantly learning, you need to be constantly learning. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you're not looking at people with better physiques than you, people that you see as smarter than you, I don't know, just different type of people in the industry, and just see what they're doing. And if, honestly, if they have a good body, then it seems like that's working for them. So I feel like you should be taking this information in from all these different people. I don't think you should be listening to one person in specific, because that might work for them, but it might not work for you. So I think you should take everything with a grain of salt, as you should with everything in life. But if you can gather all this information together and kind of formulate something yourself for your own body, it might help you, it might work out. So 3 things I wish I knew when I first started lifting. Let's get started. Number 1, nutrition. I really wish I knew more about nutrition in general. Like, I really didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what foods were considered healthy, what foods were considered unhealthy. I didn't understand calories in versus calories out. I thought there were ways around that by doing like fasted cardio, HIIT training, drinking apple cider vinegar, taking fat burners, just all these common things that beginners think you can do to surpass the law of thermodynamics that aren't going to work. I used to think that too. Like, it's okay if that's still in your mind, if you think fat burners are going to work for you, if you think there are ways to get past eating too much, then you're wrong. But it's okay that you're wrong. Like, this is your wake-up call right here. Calories in versus calories out. You can't break the law of thermodynamics. Learn more about nutrition. Like I said just a little bit ago, learn from a ton of different people. Don't learn from just your favorite fitness influencer. Take it in from all these different influencers, because they have all found something that works for them, and you can pull it all together. I wish I knew more about eating low-calorie dense foods to have a sustainable diet, rather than eating super strict chicken, rice, broccoli, all like the typical bodybuilder diet, because it didn't work for me. And like I told you guys in my binge eating video, that's what leads to binge eating, is when you are eating a diet that is unsustainable. So definitely learn a lot about nutrition. Nutrition is extremely important. I would say it's almost even more important than lifting when it comes to your physique. Like, you can work out all you want, but if your diet is not on point, you are not going to look the way you want to. You're not going to look like your favorite fitness influencer, your favorite actor, whoever it is. It's just not going to happen. And vice versa. Like, yeah, you need to focus on lifting too, but the diet is just important, man. The diet is super important. Focus on nutrition. Learn as much as you possibly can. Just nutrition, boys. I also wish I knew that macros didn't really matter. I used to think there was a certain calculated amount of macros for protein, carbs, and fats that you needed, but really the only thing you need to focus on is protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight in general for most people, and then carbs and fats, you can play around with that. I wish I knew you could do that. I used to do all sorts of different kinds of diets, like 0 carbs, super high fat, then vice versa, 0 fat, high carbs. Whatever combination macros that you can think of in your mind, I've done before. I've done all these different diets. I've tried all these different things to see if they work. And you just have to find the one that works for you. If no carbs works for you, that's perfectly fine. It's all about calories in, calories out. So if that is a sustainable diet for you, then you need to do that. And yeah, just nutrition. Learn as much as you possibly can, boys. Number 2 that I wish I knew more about, progressive overload. Progressive overload is just insanely important. When I first started working out, and honestly, just a lot of people that I see in the gym in general nowadays will do the same thing week to week to week to week, like same exact weight, same exact reps, and they're like, why am I not making progress? I wondered why I wasn't making progress. I remember a specific time I used to work out in my uncle's gym. He had this little like apartment building, city that I lived in that he had completely cleared out and had a gym in there, and I would do the exact same thing every time. I remember for arm days, for curls, I think I would start at 30s and I would do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, like all the way down until 10 pounds, so like 30s, 25s, 20, 15, 10, etc., whatever. And that's literally all I do each week for arms. Squats, things like that, same exact rep, same exact weight. I never thought to go up in weight. I don't know why. I just thought, like, if I keep doing this over and over, I'll just progressively get bigger. And with newbie gains, essentially you will for a little bit, but you're not optimizing your muscle growth the way you could be. So focus on progressive overload, and just remember that it can be either going up in weight or decreasing rest time or even increasing the amount of reps that you do. So it doesn't have to be just increasing the weight, because sometimes you can't just increase weight each week on a certain exercise because it's not possible, not reasonable. So try any way you can to progressively overload week to week. See your strength go up, and as your strength goes up, so will your muscle growth. So ideal, yes, 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 ideal boys. Number 2, progressive overload. The third thing that I wish I knew about is bulking and cutting. Like, I used to think you had to bulk as hard as you possibly could and cut as hard as you possibly could. And like, it's okay to think that way. It's okay to bulk as hard as you can and gain like a lot of muscle and whatnot, but as soon as you cut back down, you're gonna lose muscle too. So if you were just main gaining that entire time and liking the body that you had the entire time, then you can make the same amount of muscle and enjoy the way you look in the mirror, which is ideal to me. And I've found that sweet spot right now. I'm in that sweet spot. I love that sweet spot. I wish I would have known this before, because it's incredible. It's a great feeling. Also, another thing, if you are gonna bulk or cut, stick to it. Do not switch back and forth between bulking and cutting. What I remember, even my first like 2 to 3 years of lifting, I would try and say that I'm gonna like stick to a bulk, and I would literally do it for like 4 weeks, and then as soon as I was uncomfortable with the way I look, I would instantly go back into cut, and then instantly back into bulk, then back into cut, just diving back and forth. And literally at that point, you're just spinning your wheels. Like, essentially you're building no muscle, like maybe a little bit, but you're kind of just defeating the purpose of the bulk or the cut. Like, you're not getting insanely shredded, and you're not getting like all the gains from your bulk. So I would definitely wish I knew more about that. I wish I knew that you could gain just as much muscle on your maintenance calories and liking the way that you look. So my personal recommendation is that you get to a body composition that you like. For me, it's around like 12 to 15%, like somewhere where you're beach ready, but you're not extremely shredded, not extremely fat, for lack of a better word. Do this, and then from there, eat at your maintenance calories, and you'll see the same progress. You'll gain just as much muscle as somebody who's bulking all the way up and then cutting back down to the same body composition you're at. And in my opinion, like, if you're sitting at a body composition that you like, you're gonna enjoy working out more, you're gonna like the way you look, you're gonna feel better. Essentially, all activities are gonna just be better. Like, I don't know how else to explain it besides saying the word better over and over and over, because like I said, I found that sweet spot. I feel great, and I know you will too. So if you guys need help doing that, definitely hit your boy up. Those are 3 things that I wish I knew more about when I first started working out, first started lifting, first started getting into just the fitness world in general. Like I said before, you need to take information from all these different people, all these different successful people with the way they look, different athletes, whatever it is, and formulate your own plan. Don't pick, you can pick and choose from everybody's plans, but don't just pick one person's plan, because like I said, you might be disappointed, you might pick it and it might not work for you, and you're gonna be super sad. And yeah, you can tell this has happened to me before. So that being said, this is the end of the video. If you guys did like this video, if you want to see more videos like this, I feel like I can make a ton of videos just like this. And honestly, each year you pick up one huge thing from your lifting career, but honestly, you're learning each and every day. So yeah, let me know, comment below if you want to see more like this. If not, don't comment below. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, because it helps me out a ton. Love you boys, and I'll see you in the next one.